why were these powerful Roman men falling all over themselves to be with her? The thing most people associate with Cleopatra is her famous charm and sex appeal. How do we know about it, though? During her lifetime, numerous famous Romans wrote about how beautiful and charming Cleopatra was. Considering that the Romans hated her as a person, I always assumed when I was younger that their stories of her beauty must be true. After all, if they hated her, yet were admitting that she was beautiful, she must have been really gorgeous, right? Not necessarily. Ancient Romans who raved about how hot Cleopatra was had a specific point they were trying to make, and it wasn't a good point. She was a wicked seductress whose womanly wiles were overwhelming, and even the likes of strong Roman men like Julius Caesar and Mark Antony had no defenses against her charm. In other words, she was trouble. In fact, this was part of a common formula the Romans used to slander anybody that they didn't like, whether it was a foreign ruler or one of their own politicians. The formula went like this: too feminine, too sexual, too emotional, too spendy and ostentatious, too monarchical. In other words, by saying she was beautiful, they were trying to slander Cleopatra, and they succeeded. The behavior of Julius Caesar and Mark Antony also helped feed into the myth. Julius Caesar commissioned a life-sized golden statue of Cleopatra to be placed in the Temple of Venus in Rome. It was a portrait of Cleopatra as the goddess Venus in her aspect as a mother, since Cleopatra had just given birth to Julius Caesar's son. Mark Antony also famously abandoned his younger and probably much prettier wife Octavia in favor of hanging out with Cleopatra in Egypt. So both of these men helped feed the myth of Cleopatra's beauty. If you look at portrait statues of Cleopatra from her lifetime, she wasn't necessarily winning America's Next Top Model, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. With regard to how beautiful she actually was, we may never really know. So, if she wasn't beautiful, why were these powerful Roman men falling all over themselves to be with her? It's much more likely that Cleopatra was incredibly witty, charming, and persuasive. As a politician and a negotiator, she was great at getting other people to see how they could benefit from doing whatever it was that she wanted them to do. It stands to reason she probably took this gift with her into the bedroom as well. Cleopatra was a highly educated woman, and she was also super smart. But let's not forget, it takes two to tango. It seems at the very least Cleopatra probably had a sparkling personality. But let's take a look at the personalities of the two men she romanced. Julius Caesar, a man so popular and charismatic that he was elevated to godhood after his death, was Cleopatra's first known sexual partner. The reason we know of him is because they had a child together, and this was widely known by everybody who was anybody at the time. Caesar was on his third wife by the time he met Cleopatra, and he is known to have had at least 2 other mistresses in his lifetime. One was Servilia, a Roman woman of noble birth, who happened to be the mother of Brutus. Yes, the Brutus who helped stab Caesar to death in the Senate. Grim. The other was Queen Eunoe of Mauritania, which is modern-day northwestern Africa. So, if you're looking for a historical figure with a more interesting sex life than Cleopatra's, Julius Caesar definitely qualifies. Cleopatra's second known lover was Mark Antony. Antony cycled through 2 marriages just during the time that he and Cleopatra were a couple alone. He married a total of 5 women in his lifetime, Cleopatra being the 5th and last. Their marriage wasn't recognized as legal by Rome, but it was legal in Egypt. Antony was also known by his contemporaries to have had many, many mistresses. Is it possible that Cleopatra really did have the wild sex life that the Romans accused her of having? Sure, but there's no more evidence to prove it than there is any evidence of any other Egyptian queen having that kind of a sex life, which is to say, there's none. If you enjoyed this video, check out my Patreon where you can actually watch much longer, more in-depth history classes that I teach, and you can ask me questions in person. It's so much fun. The name is here on the screen and the link is in my bio. Ancient Romans who raved about how... Nope. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to do that again.
Okay.
So both of these men contributed to the myth of Cleopatra's beauty. You just had to do it, didn't you? Yeah. The other was Queen Nope. Queen Nope.
Queen Nope.
She's just like, nope, all the time. Is it possible that Cleopatra really did have the wild sex life that the Romans accused her of having? Sure.